Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back. This is Daily Trading Analysis with a quick market update for today, February 22nd. NBA 30-year mortgage rate keep increasing 6.62, and the previous one was 6.39. Mortgage applications continuing way lower since the previous one, minus 7.7 right now on February, minus 13.3. Refinances also going lower, and overall index is going lower. So I think it's time for people to realize that the mortgages are at incredible high levels, and sadly the applications and the refinancings is going to continue lower as long as Feds continue raising interest rates. That is something that will continue to happen until summer. So be careful today, because not only that, FOMC minutes at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, it's one of the big hits of the week. Apart from this economic data, we have some news from the Fed. Bullard pushes for faster rate hikes and sees good shot at beating inflation. Well, that's a personal opinion, but look at this. Bullard advocates for a top rate of nearly 5.4%. So previously, Fed were trying to have an estimate of 5.1, but I think more and more Feds and also the markets are pricing in higher than expected terminal rates. And let's go to the charts and take a quick look to basically the terminal rates on the interest rates. And right now, as you can see, this is September, 5.33, pulling back a little bit now that today's FOMC minutes day. I think interest rates are pulling back a bit, trying to wait for what those minutes say. But we are already seeing that since a lot of time ago, we've been reviewing this kind of move in this channel since weeks ago. And I think this is part of the reason why markets are so bearish. I was bearish since last week, mid last week, and due to options manipulation, we couldn't go lower. But well, interest rates are at incredible high levels, 5.33, and December is pricing in maybe not an interest rate cut, 5.20. I don't think this is a cut, but for sure we are going to end the year at incredible levels of interest rates. I was saying Nasdaq, well, I told you this pivot was super important. We lost that pivot, we broke down the trend line, and we are free falling until what I think is quite a visual target. Markets are always tend to be super visual, and as you can see, this is previous resistance is now support with two big pivots. So basically, without maybe any doubts, but I think we are going to target 11,400. This is the target. I think this pullback is going to go, and take these opportunities, because today was a very clear day of bearish sentiment. So the open tried to go higher. Look at this again, clear visuals. This is pre-market pivot, pre-market high. We touch that, we set up this bull trap, and we basically went lower with a little bit of a nice head and shoulders reversal with these two. Where it is. Where the heck is the head and shoulders part? I don't know. Oh, here it is. So, and here, this pivot is where I took in this support. It's not the leg in the neckline, but I think it was a good spot for a real pivot. And here is where I went short. I covered around here, at pre-market lows after this beautiful flash continuation to the downside, and my day is done. So markets are right now trying to consolidate and maybe move higher ahead of FOMC in a couple of hours. But for sure, what it was clear is that now that markets are able to go down, they are going to, because fundamentals, CPI, retail sales, PPI last week, and this week also home sector, PMI. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why these markets are allowed to go low. So don't be naive, don't be too optimistic, because there's a lot of potential to the downside. And we check the daily, we are now putting a nice doji candle, but I think there's a lot more potential to the downside until we may found some kind of bullish. I think buyers are at 11,600 due to this bottoming tail, and if not, the buyers will commit at 11,400. I will commit at these levels for sure, at least into my portfolio, long-term portfolio. So I am waiting until Nasdaq shows really lows in this pullback. I don't want to buy up here because I think this is, I mean, look at the volume. There's decent volume. So I'm going to be patient, and I don't want to be caught on FOMO. And I think I expect more kind of a pullback until these lows levels. Amazon and Tesla are surprisingly green. Amazon 1.36, and it's what is causing this XLY consumer discretionary to be holding. To be careful with these mixed signals, dollar is still in the green today again, and energy is in the only sector fund apart from technology that is almost flat. Energy is still the only one in the red. But let me show you why you have to keep focusing on this sector fund's performance, because I think it's quite interesting to see how Wall Street and the overall markets rotate into defensive. So this is last week, this is Friday, we started going up, and look at this. XLP, consumer staples, defensive sector. XLU, utilities, defensive sector. XLV, healthcare, defensive sectors. Industrials, all are up here. And then we find at the bottom energy, technology, and consumer discretionary XLY. So I've been covering these kind of rotations in my videos. If you didn't check them out, please check them out. This is key to understand why and when the big players take the defensive positions due to uncertainty or due to basically a big potential to the downside. They don't want to get caught and they need to be in the market. So they basically rotate the money flow to the more recession defensive sectors. And don't forget to look at these things, because these things and also yields are what can provide to you that edge into the markets. So I think it's quite important for you to also check for divergences and convergences and these kind of things. Bonds market continue pricing higher than expected. I mean, 2 weeks ago we were at 5, or I think it was, 2 weeks ago we were at 4.9, and right now we are at 4.3. Let me tell you, this pullback is just the beginning. Be smart and think about the fundamentals and all the yields going higher. Do you really think that these Nasdaq, these tech stocks are not going to pull back? When is now? Where? We'll have to see. But don't be naive and think about, oh, I'm going to buy here because this is going to continue higher. There's a lot more potential to the downside that is to the upside, and there's a lot of risk on buying here and just being smoked until we can find buyers down here or even down here. So wait for those opportunities, analyze the market, check all these things. By the way, VIX is pulling back a bit, but remember, we were watching these kind of things. We were watching this breakout, and VIX still on the way to the upside, and this might hit the market pretty heavily. So let's see how FOMC minutes come today, but don't be too optimistic. Just think about the technicals on the day. There's a lot of volume in the middle. This looks like basically a bell curve normal distribution volume profile. So it makes sense that they are waiting for that. But I think at these levels, let me adjust this. At these levels, we are just in here. There should be a lot of shorts at these levels. So just be patient. The day is not over yet. So be patient, lock your profits, and wait for FOMC to see the reaction. And then try to take that opportunity. I'm done for today. I will review the market tomorrow because today's FOMC. What else do we have for the rest of the week is one of the things I would like to share is that look at this tomorrow, Thursday, GDP estimate. This is going to impact the market, and also initial jobless claims and continuing jobless claims. This is going to be super interesting, and also Fed's speaking. And on Friday, the most important indicator for Feds in order to gauge inflation, PCE. So Friday is going to be a boom on the markets. We are expecting to see obviously higher income and higher spending, meaning that PCE index is going to increase and Feds are not going to be happy. So the week is going to be super interesting at the end. So don't make mistakes today, just be patient. FOMC minutes are going to be interesting, but digest the news and don't just go on FOMO think twice about what is happening in the overall markets and also with the fundamentals, and you will change your approach and your view regarding trading these markets. So let's go back to the Nasdaq to take a final look. So it's still trying to break this 11,100. So I think there will be, this is a lot of resistance up here. And I think sellers will commit again. Let's see the volume up here. Yeah, we are starting to see these overbought levels. But I think market will wait until 2 p.m. and see what happens with the minutes. Be patient. That's key. And as always, thank you for your time. If you found this video useful, please remember to click the like button and subscribe to the channel to receive notifications when I upload new videos. Remember that I upload new videos every single day for market forecast, market updates, and market recap. I appreciate your time as always. Remember, the trading day is not over yet. 2 p.m. is waiting for you. Be smart. Discipline and risk management are key for success. Stay safe, everyone.